what about like introduce you guys, and we have 4 panelists from like a different perspective, different catalog. We have like a 2 application chain. We got a DA solution. We got it's like a data solution. So let's start with Kay.
Oh, I got my here. Hello. Hi everyone. I know you're like feel frustrated with Telecom, but there's a lot of things here. I'm Kay, and I'm the CEO for HashKey Eco Labs. Currently, I'm covering our platform token HashKey and our public chain named HashKey Chain. Both of them are gonna launch right in the corner. Actually, no November or December. We're still looking forward to the market get recovered and all the like political policy get more exciting. So. But it's gonna be happen this year, and our chain is gonna be layer 2 EVM, and our technical partner will announce it soon. But it should be really big and really exciting. And please looking forward to us. And please, you can follow our Twitter at HashKey and for the latest posted. And we are invited all the builders and users to the ecosystem.
Yeah, actually, I'm from HashKey Capital, and she's from HashKey Chain. We're like same company here. So, please.
Okay. Hi, I'm Naoki from doublejump.tokyo. So I'm from like mostly like BD. So actually, we are the Web3 gaming company. So based in Japan. So we are partnering up with Sega, Bandai Namco, and Square Enix. So our current focus is that we are building Sega's IP's game called Kai Sangokushi Taisen. So that is the Battle of Three Kingdoms in English. So that is our current focus, and maybe I can announce that like yesterday we've announced like very important updates. That is new layer 2 we built with alt layer that is called SG Verse. So maybe we can touch it later. After this. Yeah, thank you.
Sure.
I'm Altan, one of the founders of Nuffle Labs. So Nuffle spun out of Near almost 3 months ago now. So we have historically built 2 products, which is Near DA is the first one, and we're building a fast finality layer on top that allows you to do pre-confirmations with restaked assets. So you can do L2 to L2 communication pretty fast. And then the third product that we announced last week is to extend EigenLayer outside of Ethereum L1. So you can stake assets from anywhere, but contribute to the AVS demand that EigenLayer has. So that is going to be pushed out in the roadmap pretty soon.
Hi, everyone. My name is Arthur. I'm the CEO and the co-founder of Hemera. So Hemera is a programmable data layer. To put it simple, we are a core infrastructure that practically any blockchain and developers building apps will need us. So we differ from most of the other infrastructure projects in the sense that we focus on building a framework to help developers better read or access data on chain. While all the other infrastructure you see around will focus on how to actually write data to blockchains. So currently, on top of Hemera, we support essential and basic infrastructures and applications, including blockchain explorers, indexer, to more complicated use cases where you can run machine learning models, AI models, and AI agents on top of blockchain data. And currently, we work with 20 more EVM chains, including layer 1s like Story Protocol, Zeta Chain, and layer 2s like Tyco, Manta Network, and many more.
All right, so let's start with the first question, and I'm going to be asked like HashKey chain, double jump. Like, what's your like idea behind you build your own chain instead of using like Ethereum layer 2 or like a general purpose layer 2, Ethereum layer 1 or general purpose layer 2? So let's start with Kay.
Yeah. Actually, I might spend like 30 minutes to introduce HashKey group for the friends who might not that familiar with us. Actually, HashKey we set up in the 2018, and we start as venture capital, HashKey Capital, which is it might be the largest venture capital VC tranche in Asia area, and also really famous in globally. And now HashKey has been the full stack digital asset ecosystem in Asia and globally. We got our venture capital here. We got the licensed regulated centralized exchange in Hong Kong and Bermuda, which is our HashKey Global. And we are applying license in all the regions. For example, we are licensed in Japan. We are applying in Europe. And we are expanding all the licensed regulated institutions globally. So for us, what's the missing puzzle for the HashKey ecosystem? We all think about it. It's the token. We know Coinbase, and they are like the largest regulated exchange in the US base, but they don't issue token now, and they have issued shares, of course, and the shares FDV, I bet it should be like 60 billion recently. So what we are looking for is that if there are any token in our Web3 narratives that has the compliance and regulated narratives to allow more users from Web2 and institutional client and all the people who are not that familiar with Web3, but they want to join us and earn a reasonable but not that high of return, and they want to keep their money safe, they want to get the security, they want to use their KYC in both Web2 and Web3, and that's our like big picture in the future. So that's why we decided to do the HashKey chain by our own. Of course, we have technical partners, we have our eco partners, and we have a lot of key and very important and famous partners introduced by Capital and by our like exchange and also other ecosystem friend. HashKey chain is the way for them to introduce our partner to build and to allow our users to play in this whole ecosystem. And that's the whole idea to narrative and to elaborate the whole value for HashKey ecosystem and to share the value to the community. And that's the key idea.
All right, go ahead.
Yes, maybe I can pick up like two things. One is customization. So actually, so this is so SGverse is for the game Battle of Three Kingdoms. So it's a gaming chain. So we needed to make it as like gamer friendly, so that like maybe we can change the like block time so that it can be like faster. And so this kind of like things is like supported by the author here. So that's the things we are like doing. And also, second one is security. So we are like handling the very variable IP stuff. So yeah, we need to have a very secure environment. So that's the things. Actually, so we have partnering up with Altria like more than like 1 year. So so actually, we are thinking that okay, we got started off from our project as like first case. So yeah, that's the reason why like we built the burst and layer 2.
So if there any like a high performance chain offer like a high speed, like a high like a more frequency finality, are you gonna be switched from like outlier chain to them?
Actually it's built in like the OP stack, and so it's like done within that framework. But actually we can like accommodate with like Altria, and Altria supports it. Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah, actually, I want to share some thoughts on that. So we've been working with a lot of application specific chains and supporting general purpose layer 1 and layer 2s, and talking to a lot of application builders. I think Ray's question is actually pretty fascinating, and also a very interesting question to ask all the infrastructure builders, which is, will high performance chains actually attract more developers switch from their own chain to the high performance chain? But if you talk to the gaming developer, I think the first thing they care about is users. Do you have enough users that can help this application thrive? The second one is gas fee and all that good stuff, right? Third one is definitely infrastructures, tools to help the builders actually build and thrive on the new chain. So these would be a much better question to think about. And right now, I don't think high performance is actually one of the killing factors. Yeah.
All right, makes sense. So the next part of question is about like what are you building like as like a technical perspective, like any like interesting stuff to enhance the user experience. So let's start with the near side.
Yeah, so there's two things that I think improves the user experience on Ethereum for us. So one thing is the DA layer that we built. So if you go to RSS3 today, that launched almost 6 months ago. The gas fees are almost like close to zero. So that's because of using Near, which has historically been very cheap. So store the blobs there and then settle on Ethereum. And the other thing is obviously using fast finality layer to be able to move across chains very fast to like 2-3 seconds finality. That allows you to move state, liquidity, or anything that you can think about. It opens it like new design space where, let's say, Lance launch a new chain, they can connect to the fast finality layer and do something on OP or an Arbitrum, right? So that's it. Sort of allows us to connect this very, very fragmented space that we're in. Just Vitalik has been talking about it, right? So we're quite excited about that. I think it will improve a lot of the user experience problems that we're facing, with also obviously thinking about security. And it's one of the reasons why we're building on an eigenlayer, allowing sort of the security to come in from restaked ETH to be able to ensure that the messages are passed and the finality of the chain is finalized. Obviously, it's not like it's almost like soft finality. It's not fast finality. It's not like a hard finality that you get on Ethereum L1, but it is, for a lot of use cases, it's very useful to be able to do that.
All right. So, also, do you have your idea?
Yeah, for sure. I think when I think about user experiences, I like to take a slightly different approach, which is, I like to think from the user journey perspective instead of thinking from a technical perspective. So if you imagine, we were gonna attract some new user to a new ecosystem or new application, or especially if the user isn't fully aware of what the application or the ecosystem is about, right? So the first thing I think a user comes to a new ecosystem is really to think about, hey, what are the applications I can play with? Is it what are the top games? What are the top NFTs? What are the top SocialFi applications I can join? So the first thing you go to, unfortunately today, is either something like an Etherscan, which is super boring, a lot of hashes, or something like a DAB and DAB, right? Like it's filled with kind of meaningless rankings. But instead, if you look at what Web2 internet can provide, right? We have Google, we have many other discovery platforms providing way more insightful information to help like users actually get to know about the product and the applications. And I think that's a little bit ironic to think about, because we are building in Web3. Theoretically speaking, we should have more transparency, more access to data. And this is actually the exact problem we're trying to solve, which is actually to add a little bit more flavor or meaning to on-chain data. Because on-chain data, most people think is kind of boring. The reason why you think it's boring is because it doesn't contain the semantic meaning to tell you, hey, this transaction is actually Vitalik donating 1,000 ETH to some nonprofit, and that transaction is Vitalik following Arthur's forecaster, right? So and if we were able to kind of add the semantics back to the data, and then you go to a new ecosystem, say Story Protocol, which is an IP chain, you probably can see way more related information about which IP gets more popular, and in the particular game you can actually access IPs like Blackpink or BTS, stuff like that, right? So I think that would be the first step, I think, of how to enhance Web3 user experience in the first place. And then you can think about, hey, if I'm super interested with a particular app, like a Polymarket or whatever, I can actually move or either from off-chain or from on-chain assets to the particular ecosystem and spend my asset there, right? So that would be, and then you have all these infrastructure topics like chain abstraction, account abstraction, fast finality, cross-chain. All these infrastructure will then be thrive. Yeah.
All right. So last part of my question is about like alpha. Like, can you guys share some alpha, whatever, from your project, or you heard like any like a secret taker during the event? I guess Kay just gave us like a HSK launch no later than this year, so just give us more.
Yeah. First of all, I have to say HSK is going to be the next alpha. I believe that. But for the chain itself, as I mentioned, we are doing the whole ecosystem to leverage Web2 and Web3 and institutional investor or retail customers. So what's the real use case for Web2 and Web3? Web3 now, we are seeing the trend for PayFi now. So for HashKey chain, we will focus on several sectors. Of course, we invited all the builders and users to join, but now we will have some focus. Like we are doing PayFi. Of course, we are doing BTCFi. We have announced partnership with Soft, and we are going to to leverage our institutional resources. And of course, we got our cloud business, which is the largest pool in Asia area. So we have all this asset here, and now we want to know and figure out a way to leverage Web 2, Web 3, and we want to do the Web 3 infra to all these users and institutions to invite more capital here, to invite more fund, more users to the community. And RWA, stablecoin, we are the partner for Hong Kong stablecoin, and also we are going to announce more stablecoin partnership in the future in different regions for globally. So basically, we could look at it as a Web 2 and Web 3 infra for the whole industry. And I believe HashKey is the one and the only institution who are capable and fitful to these big narratives for next stage. Yeah.
All right, first ticker, HSK. Go ahead for the next one. What will be the next one?
Okay, next me. So yeah, for Alpha or our project, so actually we are going to launch the tokens as well. So everybody loves the token. So so this is a SG coin, so which can be like purchased for the in-game currencies and also the NFTs of the game as well. So that's a big update, and we do some like mini games on Telegram as well, and yeah, actually more like games powered by IP will be onboarded like SGverse. So yeah, more to come. So please stay tuned.
All right, second ticker is what?
Second what?
Second ticker is what?
Oh, second take is what is
Your ticker, I mean. You
What's your
guys
token
wanna-
taker? What's your token taker?
There's a token ticker?
token taker?
Jump.
Yeah? It's a jump.
Double jump.
One B?
Double jump.
Yeah, the double jump.
All right. So, third one. DJT.
I like D-Jump.
DJ. How about DJ?
Third one.
I can. So we're developing the fast finale layer, so it's on testnet currently. We're expecting that to go live in mainnet, hopefully like in a month or two. Obviously, audits take time with like obviously partners using that as well to do cross-chain lending for some of the L2s that for some of the apps that we're working with. On the partnership side, we have a lot more coming on the DA side, and then the sort of the NFFL side that some of the big partners using and to amplify their the cross-chain sort of messaging or any cross-chain application that they can use. And then the third thing, obviously, we're thinking is like where to, if you can think about a space where you can deploy EigenLayer outside of Ethereum L1, where do you deploy to? So that's going to be the fun part that we're looking into.
Sure. So, Arthur, I know you are covered with a lot of projects, so give us like some alpha. And who is the next one to get airdrop?
Okay, so yeah, I think that's a good question, but let me just talk about ticker first, right? Our ticker is actually Day, D-A-Y. I will explain why we are called Day after I answer the question. So as Ray mentioned, we actually work with a lot of chain ecosystem. In particular, help blockchains and applications to design their airdrop strategy, and most importantly, figure out who's their power user in general, and at the same time, who might be a little bit, too aggressive farmers within the ecosystem, so that they can actually adjust the airdrop allocations for each and every single user. So many of the, the airdrop or the upcoming and ongoing airdrop include, our partner at ZettaChain, for example. They recently, actually yesterday, just announced the instant airdrop. Instead of a point system. So whenever you complete a quest or a particular task on chain, you get more like a rebate. It's very much like an Apple Cash, but it's in the form of a Zeta token, right? So I think that's because they are already liquid. And upcoming ones, I think, Tyco has been doing a lot of airdrop as well. We've been helping them to try to figure out, again, who might be a little bit too aggressive farming the airdrops. And probably figuring out the power user as well. So Tyco is another one. I saw their token price increased by a lot yesterday. So and in particular, trading volume increased 6 times, right? So that might be some late alpha. We're also working with like Story, who's building an IP chain. I think their entire the on-chain ecosystem is actually supported by us. But okay, so that's 3 examples that we've been working with, and let me explain why we are called Day. So Hemera actually means sister and consort of Ether. So if you think about Ether is a blockchain and EVM is a blockchain, we help blockchains or help people and developers to make sense of the blockchain. That's why it's more like a shining light onto the blockchain. In particular, one of the use cases is really to help every single user to figure out, hey, which blockchain might be your favorite blockchain, which app within the ecosystem might be your next alpha. So that's why we are called a day.
All right. He's like show us like a lot of alpha here. So I would say like last alpha, all layer.
Yeah, for sure. So before we move on to our layer, I think if you are curious, we literally built a couple AI agents helping users to find out the alpha within chain ecosystems. So many of those chains are actually built by our layer.
Sure. So I think time is up. So thanks you guys for sharing all insight and alpha here, and thanks everyone to listen us our panel. So let's get back to Darcy.
Thank you, Ray.